Oh, I wasn't able to get into the thing.
Hey there, Miss Hook.
Good evening. Did anybody read First Samuel chapter 30? You listen to it. Hmm? 30? So nobody had time to go over. It's all right. Well, I'll give you a little it's with David. Uh and he was I just point out some of I would like to point out some of the different things that happened within, their encounter. If you back up to chapter 29, um, him and his guys, they was with this other group of warriors, and they didn't want David to carry on with them because the I can't remember uh, who it was, but it was pretty much jealousy, because the the leader went to the officer and was stating to him, well, David is the one that they was praising about how many he slayed. So, no, we don't want him. So he had David to leave. So David left. They went back to, I'm gonna say home. And when they get home, they find that the city had been, burned. Everybody was kidnapped. But the Bible say that none of them, died. So they said David and his guys, they cried, they wept, pretty much till they couldn't, weep anymore. So David was kind of fearful because his guys was talking about stoning him because they was upset that they kids and wives and all had been kidnapped. Um, so the story goes on that David consulted with God, should I go after these folks who kidnap, our family? God said, yes, you'll overtake them. So that's what they did. They slaughtered them for, I don't know, I think say a few days maybe. And all the spoils, how they would do back then. They're gonna take whatever they can use. And I want to say it started with 600 guys with David, but 200 couldn't. They was exhausted, Joe. They was tired, so they stayed behind. So after they went and slaughtered their enemies, they came back, crossed back over with the guys who they left behind, and most of them didn't want to share none of the spoils with the ones who was left behind. But David said, no, we can't do this because God allowed for us to overcome this thing. David goes, so of course, they shared with the ones who stayed behind. And David reached out to some of his friends and shared with them as well. So the things I wanted to point out with, well, something I left out. The reason they was able to encounter or to find the ones who kidnapped the family, they ran across this Egyptian slave, and he said that his master, one of the ones who kidnapped they family, left him behind, left the slave behind because he got sick. So they fed him and all this good stuff. Of course, he led them to him. So David consulted with God to see should he, do this thing or not. He was friendly because I don't think Joe would have gave you one of they didn't help you get you know, revenge. You would have shared with them?
Sharon?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna.
See, so David shared with the ones who they was just exhausted, Joe. They couldn't go on. So they shared David shared with them. He was nice to, the slave, and he looked out for his friends. He didn't have to do, any of this stuff. So I wanted you all to read that just in, to somewhat put it in place with what we're talking about as far as, you know, coaching ourselves or moving ourselves to the next level. So the last time we talked, I know it wasn't Wednesday, it was Sunday, it was last Wednesday. Did anyone come up with anything that we could use to help get us to the next level? No one. That's cool. I got something. Um, okay.
Well, what I came up with is first of all, we ourselves have to have a change of mind
Okay.
and um be serious about studying the Word of God
Right.
and to provide that to participate and be involved in church functions and to always encourage others.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. So Sims, I appreciate that. Um, Most of us know the life and story of Paul, right? We're gonna use Paul. We're gonna use probably Peter crazy self. Um, but Paul, anyone? What when we talk about Paul, what comes to mind when we somebody mention Paul? Hmm? He said Gail. Why? Why Gail? Cause she like Paul. What comes to mind? Yes, sir.
Just the way that he went about the things that he did. If you look at what he was doing before he met Jesus on the road, he was 1,000 miles an hour about persecuting and getting these folks out that he thought were somehow not doing the right thing when it comes as far as obeying God. And then when Jesus came to him and explained to him that he was persecuting him, he did everything after that with the same kind of energy.
Hmm.
He didn't hold nothing back. He didn't, I'll take it easy today. No, he went. Even to the point where he was even in prison. He still spent most of his time praying, uh, gathering the other prisoners together and teaching them about Christ, and even writing letters out to different churches because his mind was not in jail with him, but it was out in the world with the other churches that they had started.
Hmm. Okay. Anyone else on Paul?
He was an encourager. Yeah, he always encouraged the church to stay on track.
She said he was encouraged. Okay. Anyone else? I know that's right, kid. Anyone else? Anyone else? Someone read First Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 27.
Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may win. And everyone who competes in the games exercises self-control in all things. They then do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we are imperishable. Therefore, I run in such a way as not without aim. I box in such a way as not beating the air, but I buffet my body and make it my slave, lest possibly, after I have preached to others, I myself should be disqualified.
What does that sound like? Do that sound like an athlete? um what Paul is describing. You know, now I never got into sports like that, so I really can't even say it was. I don't know, Jay. I prefer to go home and work. I just wanted some money. Daddy just wasn't gonna get it to me. I had to go work for it, so it was money or ball. Took the money. But anyway, but do y'all know of any athletes who just, I mean, go to the extreme? I mean, to discipline their body, so to speak, to have this body built for whatever they need it built for. Do y'all know anybody like that? Who, Adrian? Who you know? Ellie.
I know some football players.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Ellie. Ellie did do.
That created them.
She said Zachary at some point, but someone go to the extreme. They their workouts. I mean, they really go to the extreme to build themselves in a way, so they can perform. So this is what Paul is talking about. So can anybody relate our spiritual growth to almost I want to say over like they used to talk about Michael Jordan. Who want to practice day and night? All season, I mean, that's all you do is practice, practice, practice.
Same people that want to work.
Actually, Kobe got a better workout than Michael.
Yes.
Hold on, Adrian. Say what?
Kobe actually had a better.
Man, nobody worry about Kobe. Go on, say what you gotta say, Jay.
But I mean, if you take our spiritual life and you take what you're saying about an athlete does what he does for the benefit of. And same thing with our spiritual life. We study more so we know who God really is, how God operates, so that we may gain our rightful spot with God. So they work hand in hand. It's just on the athletic side, most of them now are looking for a financial reward. On the spiritual side, we're looking for that home built streets of gold and all that.
Well, it's the same thing. Adrian, you got something? You was gonna say something?
No, I just had a smart comment.
Okay.
You said who want to practice day and night? I said the same people that want to work day and night.
Oh, you talking about me?
You like to work, right?
I don't mind working. I'm changing it. I don't mind working, man.
Well, I mean, they don't mind practicing.
It might go on. We're not gonna pay no attention to age.
Right. Okay. So
Uh-oh.
like Gail like to work out. Like she just naturally like to work out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like I don't have no part of my body that like. But it's just and that I mean, and she looks like you know what I'm saying. She looks like she works out good. So I mean, I guess it's just what you like. Like you don't mind working. I mind working.
Okay. I got you. I got you. Man, I tell you. Yes, sir.
I would say that they're slightly different.
Okay.
An athlete works to attain a goal.
Okay.
In your spiritual life, you do the same type of work, but you want to keep your goal.
Okay.
Because God already said we got a mansion in heaven. If, there's always that if, we do something. Right?
Yeah.
So I think in that aspect it's a little different.
Hmm.
So we work to keep our reward.
Hmm.
They work to get a reward.
I got what you're saying, Mike, but I'm gonna say that yeah, because if I don't work out, if I don't practice, you think they're gonna keep paying me that same salary? They're probably gonna trade me, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to. I got what you're saying though.
I'm saying the same thing.
Okay, I got you. I
Our
got
practice is just a little different than their practice. Our practice is studying God's word, allowing the Spirit to fill us. They might run 10, 20 laps, pick up 500 pounds,
you.
run for 30 minutes. That's their practice.
Okay. Now, now y'all know Mike. He trying to get down in the weeds. I ain't gonna let him get down in the weeds, cause but I appreciate you though, Mike. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you good, Mike? Okay, yes, sir.
Thinking more so like if you look at an athlete, right?
Yeah.
Well, they got to be in a certain condition to be able to do whatever sport they're doing. So most of them are going to have a pretty set and regimented diet as far as what they're going to eat, when they're going to eat it. Well, you look at us. When we consume the word, that's our diet, consuming the word of God. And just like them, there's certain things that you got a track star, there's certain things you ain't gonna catch them putting in their mouth. Well, what we take in with our mind and our eyes, what we even see and we hear, is part of our diet. So certain things that somebody's truly after those goals, they're not gonna take that stuff in. Because why? What you put in your diet, if you a track star, affects your performance. If you eating pound cake on a regular basis, you run very fast. Same thing with somebody who's truly after the goal of being in one accord with God. If you're regularly taking in, I don't know, let's just say bad music or whatever, you regularly into that. You in every song. And guess what? You got some programming that's not getting into you that's gonna come out. Probably at some inopportune time.
Hmm.
And guess what you just did? You just caused yourself to trip over a hurdle instead of being able to hop over. That time when you was trying to really make an impression on somebody about the word of God, because you had took in something that you shouldn't have took in, then it came out. Because if you bring something in, it's gonna come out.
Yes, sir.
Right. So is your point? How many of us are athletes for God? Are you trying to? No, not trying to make a point. Like how many of us are practicing and taking in what we're supposed to and staying away from what we're supposed to and finding out like your track start, you know what the rules are. Can you start before the gun go off? Like you gotta know what the guidelines are. We have to know what the Bible says. Like we should be Olympic disciples.
What you think, Adrian? You said you think that's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm using the athlete because athletes they a good one. They consistent, right? They got this. They self discipline. So y'all don't think we have to have that? It, y'all don't think we have to have that in order to get to another level? Is what I'm saying. As far as in our spiritual lives and spiritual development, you know. So if I'm the water boy, well, even being the water boy, Joe, you can still move up. You know, you'll go from giving them tap water to bottled water. Then the bottled water, you add a little something, some lemons and apples to the Gatorade. So you can always move forward, but you gotta stay consistent. You gotta have that self-discipline, right? So I feel like what 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 can motivate or what can help us to stay consistent? It's easy to fall off, you know. I mean, all you have to do is pick up another job. He'll fall off, right? So what is it, Mike?
21 days.
That's what it is. 22, I get a new job.
But see, you already did 21.
Okay.
So it's already set.
So I guess that's self-discipline. Mm. So 21 days. Mike told me, what did you say, Mike?
I did a number of times.
Oh yeah, he did know what time.
100 times. That's what
So-
he
How many?
said.
I said 2,000
2,000.
times.
There's something wrong with him. Okay, Mike.
So if I understand your question, in addition to everything that's been said, you have to desire to get better.
Mm-hmm. I think that what Sister Sam started out with you gotta fix that, man. You gotta have a change of um mind, yes. Yes, sir.
I think that, you know, very similar, you know, the comparison, very similar, you know. Some people, you know, athletic wise, some people are born with more athletic ability than others.
That's right.
You know, some are taller, some are, you know, stronger, whatever, some faster, whatever. But you still have to work, you know. There's a saying, or used to be a saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, and so I guess the meaning of that is that, all right, you may not have been as blessed as the next person, but you can outwork that person and end up, you know, being better than that person. And like you say,
You
you know,
work
there are
at it.
people, huh?
If you work at it.
Yeah, if you work at it.
Well, I'm gonna stop you there for a second. My youngest brother, left handed. So I tried my best. I will never play against him. You can't play against no left hand joker in basketball. They can use both of their hands. You gonna lose. You don't think so, man? Oh, I just was skilled. Huh? Unless I pray. Okay. Well,
And and there are some that are, you know, at the top of their game. You know, they may be the best. You know that you mentioned Kobe and Michael Jackson. You know, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan.
my dad used to do that a lot.
Yeah, Michael had to practice. He just do that moonwalk. And but you know, those guys were at the top of their game. You know, best in the world, best to ever do it, right? But they still work
They did.
because there was somebody that was just not quite as good as they were, but some that were way down, that were still working hard every day.
Right.
And if they didn't keep working, they couldn't have remained up there. And so we're the same way. You know, yeah, I may have made it through the day just fine, and showed love to my neighbors and my enemies, and and had thoughts and did the things that we've been commanded, you know. But if I don't keep working, if I don't keep reading, I don't keep studying, and don't keep building myself up, you know, tomorrow, you know, I may fall down, you know, we fall down today, and so we have to keep that drive, that drive alive. Um, with and most people probably in your jobs, you know, you think about the same thing. You know, you got to keep working. You know, that there's people who think that because they've been on the job for 10 years, or I know everything and I ain't got to do nothing. This new cat can't get above me, you know. But you know, they don't get the promotion, they mad because they quit working, and the young person, you know, kept working or whatever, or the newer person, maybe that young newer person may have kept working harder or whatever. You know, and it disappoints you because you didn't get any better. You just sat at that same level or dropped down a little bit. So we have to, you know, keep reminding ourselves it's a daily grind. You've got to continue to do so. You know, the things that you did to get you there, you got to continue to do it to, you know, remain there or to keep getting better. You want to keep getting better. And you know, many of us, you know, get to a point where we think we know it all and we've done it all and we don't have to keep working.
Right. Well,
but we can't ever get that attitude.
And it's funny you say that, man. You know, I feel that happen a lot with boxers. You know, some of the best, they got that big head. I ain't gotta work out as hard this time. I ain't gotta train as hard. And you get in there and lose, Jane.
You ain't got to look at boxers or athletes for that. You can look in church for that.
Okay, T.
Because you got church folks thinking they know everything. And, they're trying to correct somebody about something. And then you look at them, okay, how you going to correct somebody when you don't even know what you corrected? So that's why you have to continue to feed yourself. So when you open your mouth, because we know, just because ain't nobody standing around you looking at you, but everything is being seen by you. So, you have to be mindful. So that's why you have to do that. If we're comparing, that training, you have to keep it in front of you, so when you open your mouth. And one of the hardest things for me was not opening my mouth. Now it took me studying more to realize everything no point me open my mouth to. That's one of the hardest things church folks.
What did he say he realized that? What did he say he going to realize it?
Man joking on you.
But see, that he proved my point. See what I'm saying? He's proving my point. He just don't realize it. He's proving my point.
Are you trying to ignore him? Because
If
you
he,
would already done told him before.
you saw I kept talking. He get bring to my attention, right?
James make a good point there, though. If you think about it, right? Just like the athlete, if he don't stay on his diet and keep eating those things that he need to eat for his performance, guess what? It starts to come down, right? So if we don't keep consuming the word and seeking after the Lord, guess what? Our strength starts going away too. Because we don't walk away from the well where we got it from. It's kind of, and the other thing we don't think about too is, God got a different vision for us than what we do. So we get to a point where we feel like we've kind of accomplished some things, we've gotten strong in certain ways, but God moved the goalpost from you, right? He don't want you to get to this certain point and stop. So now what you've been doing and what you got comfortable being able to do, guess what? He got another station for you now. You really think God is gonna bring you up out of where you were, bring you over to the good side, and then, hey man, that's good enough right there. You stop. No. At every stage of your life, he got a different purpose for you. And if you stop moving, guess what? Now you out of the purpose that he got set for you.
Hmm. You know, I've always wondered, and I know it's a choice. And but what happened? So someone who just stayed here, right? We can't say that that wasn't God's purpose for them, can we? Hmm? We don't know, dude.
We can make that judgment.
No, no. But we uh, kick folks around about that though, right?
If if you know better, you're supposed to study and all. But you're worse off than the people that don't know, right? Isn't that what
Say it
what the
again.
Bible say?
She said, if you know better, don't do, right?
And you just stay right here and don't keep studying and you don't keep doing better and you don't serve and you don't do what you know you're supposed to do. You worse off than somebody that doesn't know.
I,
All right. And what she's talking about, think about the talents. Remember the talents?
okay.
Because if he's giving you something and you don't do anything with it. Remember, he gave them talents. They didn't do anything. What did he do? He took it back, and gave it to somebody that did do something. So when you get something from God, you have a duty to do something with it. Because he's not going to keep giving you, and you're not doing anything with it. But everything he gives you for a purpose or for another. Because everything he gives you is not for yourself. It's for somebody else.
So you got to reproduce.
Yeah.
To whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah. But along them lines, let's just say let's use Judas for example. I know we have our different views on that. That was his purpose, right? So what if somebody got a talent? We don't see them using it, but they actually use it. But we only see them right here. So that's why I still feel like we need to be careful. You know, when we make them judgments, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think we need to make them good.
That's why I say you got to
We're
be,
supposed to be
Got a lot
right
of
here in the mirror.
you got to
Looking
be
at self.
careful. You got to be careful. Because some stuff belongs to God.
Jerry said, "Well, all
But he reveals certain things to us.
for who though?"
For his purpose.
Oh, okay. James said for his purpose. I was gonna say for us, for the individual. I got you, James. I got you. Anyone else? Anybody want to add anything? Peter. I'm gonna use Peter. Now we all like Peter, right? Why?
Peter was a thug.
I say because he was a thug.
He can relate to that.
We can relate. Know what Joe said. Know what Peter would have did. What you said, right, Joe?
I mean, depends on where your head at, how you thinking, but the situation.
Right.
But I'm like this. Well, I can't be like that either. If everybody participate, then everybody should share in the rule. But you got this group back here that's gonna stay behind you, and ones in front getting all flat. Then when the dust settles, come down to the dividing of the spoil and stuff, who's the first one on the scene?
Who the first one on the
The
scene?
ones they ain't done nothing.
Not like the way.
But they didn't say it. They said it was tired.
They was tired.
That was in the fight too.
Joe. They probably was 70, 80 years old. They were just exhausted, Joe.
If that old, I was there. At my age right now, you think I'm gonna jump in the fight?
You
I get up off a distance with my long range pea shooter. Do it like that, but I'm physically no. I can't do it.
Joe, they had no pea shooters back then.
Use what you got. Use what you got, but
I got you. I got you. Oh man. So what else? What else with Peter? Peter ended up being
in a sense,
Well,
people chicken.
Joe said Peter was chicken. Okay.
What did he tell the Lord? He told the Lord, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Somebody
The
fell
Lord told him,
down in our classroom. Miss Jackie fell down in our classroom. Somebody needs to pick her up.
Hmm.
Need help.
The Lord told him, get behind him. Told him what he was going to do before the rooster crowed.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody saw it. He said that line. The rooster crowed, and then come back to the mind what the Lord told him.
And see, and I'm glad you, because we know that. Um, so even down to now Peter was one of those. She good. Okay. Peter was one of those that was we went to school with some Peters. They would start some stuff and then they'll go and hide when the heat come about. Uh what man? Oh nothing. Okay. But that's what Peter would do. So he was impulsive, even like motivated, I would say, at times or whatever. But one thing I can say too, and I know, by the time we read through some of the things that Peter ended up doing, he had this, he transformed. He had this transformation. He accepted, being corrected, you know. Uh, even like on the lines with Joe was talking about, the mistakes that he made. He lied. I don't say I'm saying mistake. He just lied, didn't he, Joe? Yeah. But he did make some mistakes as far as y'all remember the story where Paul, confronted Peter, saying that, you as long as these people are around, you eat with, the outsiders, so forth and so on. But a certain group of people come around, okay, you shy away from 'em. Y'all remember that? Yeah, yeah, okay. So, even with that, he still accepted that, that correction, you know. Um, so what do we do when and we can only, as far as, personally, um, do we take, correction? How do we take it? Now, me personally, I think most people don't want to be wrong. I've talked to a lot of folks that my oh, you're telling me to shut up?
No, sir. He said he won't be wrong.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I will say that most people don't want to be told that they're wrong.
Okay.
That's the biggest issue, I think.
They don't want to be told they wrong.
Told they're wrong. Because that's a form, that's a form of chastisement.
Hmm.
And when you 70 years old, I'm not referring to you. When you're 75 years old, having a 19-year-old tell you wrong, most of us don't feel some kind of way about that. It may be the truth, but I don't want to hear from I don't want to hear from you.
Hmm. I hear you, Mike. I dealt with it on both. Now I'll take stuff from young folks because I have learned some of the stuff they know and come up with. I tell you, just like, man, I would have never thought about this, but uh, I experienced it. Like I have. Yes, ma'am.
I just think it's all in the delivery. But at the
Okay.
same time, with constructive criticism, if you accept it, it's to make you better. So
Right.
it just depends on your mindset and what you're being told, and
How it's been told.
right, that's why I said your delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's I say criticism. It's to make you better.
Right.
So you just have to accept it and try to make changes as to what's being told to you.
And see, that's one of the things I feel like Peter, for the most part, I feel like he did. He accepted that. and was able to move forward and and become he became a really good uh leader server for the Lord. Yes, sir.
I think too, a lot of it comes into play. People get judgmental because they may have seen you in a setting that you didn't realize they saw you.
Okay.
And then you come try to tell them something, or kind of correct them. So yeah, they gonna buck up at you. So sometimes it's just people make judgment before, and typically once somebody puts something in their head, it's hard to change it.
Hmm.
They may just do that one thing, but yes, that's what they remember by is that one thing that they saw them do. So now how you gonna try to come correct me about something? So again, it goes back like what the author said. My wife get on me about it all the time. It's that delivery, and stuff. So I'm learning, you know. I'm because I don't talk as much now like I used to in class.
Sounds like Paul.
Tony told me, I told Tony jumped on me when he came in. I said, Tony, you better be glad we in church. I said, I'll do something to you. You know what Tony said? This the best time to do it. He said, this the best place to do it. We can go ahead, do what we got to do and repent. Yes, man.
I agree with Jairus. Then if we think about Brother Marshall and his lesson on Sunday, the daily discipleship,
That's right.
and look at how he responded to the lady. But I've experienced so many times in the Church of Christ where we immediately jump to conclusion. He never once criticized that lady. He never criticized anything in his message. His message was an encouraging message,
Right.
and it helped you to see yourself better than somebody pointing at you.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
man.
it depends.
It do. It do. It do. I agree. I completely agree. But we and Jerry's, I'm gonna say this. I know some folks, it's some, because I have encountered some. They just don't want to be told nothing. I mean, they just don't want nobody to especially if you young. I've experienced this on the job, in the past several times. Um, just because you got 20 years more or been around 20 years doing this job and I only been around 5, that don't mean that you know more than me. Because if you decide to stay right here and I decide to try to get up here, I could be a couple years old and no more than you, right? So what's wrong with that?
That's what I'm talking. The worst one though is the one that asks you for something. Then when you give it to them, they act like that.
Mm-mm-mm.
They'll ask you for it. Then we
To
start
give
giving
it
it to
to
them. They're like, "Hey, why you asking?"
I had a guy that that did that. I know Joe got something, but since you said that, Jane, I was doing my ride along with him. I had changed job, doing my ride along, right? And he said, "Man, I don't know what's going on with the gas tank." He said, "But whenever you stick this tank," he said, "don't never read right." He said, I'll stick it at X amount of inches, and it's supposed to hold X amount of gallons, but it won't." So I watched him, right? And I told him, I said, "You want to know why?" He said, "Yeah." I showed him. You know what that fool told me? I'm gonna keep doing the way I'm doing.
The way you see it.
That ticked me off so bad. I could have kept my little knowledge, and I completely showed him what he was doing wrong. But I guess because you over here longer than I have, but I've been around longer than you have. I done learned something, Joe. I was just trying to help you. What you asked me for? If you never said nothing, I wasn't gonna say nothing. And that's something too that's sad. I will say that I have learned, James, to keep my mouth shut sometimes. And that's sad because you can't, I don't know what it is. I mean, you'll frustrate yourself trying to help somebody. That's sad.
He was appreciative of what you said. He
Who?
just didn't want you to know that.
He just didn't want to know. That's
I bet as soon as you start riding with him, huh?
Start doing. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
In the day, go up in a situation, you didn't put your hand on it.
Uh-oh.
A couple days later, come up to me and say, I saw it. Oh, would you put your hand in? First of all, where'd you see me?
Y'all hear Joe?
I'm waiting for did
It was me.
you put your hands on it? Oh, but then you ain't seen me.
Joe, stop, man.
I see that. Well, this girl, see her in the club.
Oh.
I'm on out. Come they live. I saw you at the club. I saw you too, but did you put your hands on it? But then, back of life in there.
Right. What's wrong with it?
No, not you see it. Make you see it. In the military,
Oh, man.
where it was somebody tell you to do something, you don't want to do it, you got a problem with it, go ahead and do it. Then after you do the job, then you complain.
Yeah.
A lot of times right now, somebody tell me something about myself, I might not accept it. I might not say nothing about it, but I will assess it, study on it, whether I'm right or wrong. I, I, I'm still big enough to accept, what's my word? Correction.
Gotcha. That's good, Joe. And that's what we need. That's one of those things that will help us to move forward as well. That correction, recognizing it and acknowledging our mistakes and just moving forward. All right. Anyone have anything else? Nothing. All right. All right. Well, um, I got a little bit more to do with this, so um,
We
me-
ready for you, son.
let me ready Sunday. We will be ready Sunday. Johnny said we will be ready Sunday. All right. Who was the other one? Daniel. We can use Daniel.
It's a butterfly. If you get it correct, you heard that correction. It's a butterfly. She had to take that correction from her.
That's a butterfly.
What you say? It's a butterfly.
What is it?
Okay,
A turkey?
yes.
Oh,
Almost Thanksgiving.
gotcha.
I want to say something.
Say something. Y'all made a turkey. What you want to say?
Something.
Something in this? I just said it for you.
I want to say something.
So y'all made turkeys in class. Marshmallow and apple, sticks. Gotcha.